The Vorthak fleet moved through space like giant metal sharks. Their ships were huge and black. Each one was bigger than a small moon. For 10,000 years, no one had dared to fight them. Commander Malthek stood on the bridge of his command ship. He was tall and had gray skin. His forearms moved as he checked the screens. Today was supposed to be a quiet patrol, just another boring day in space. "Sir," his second officer called out. "We have something strange on sensors." Malthek walked over. On the screen was a small ship. It looked different from anything he had seen before. "That's not one of ours," Malthek said. "It's not from any species we know either." The ship was white and blue. It had smooth curves instead of sharp edges. Strange writing was on its side. The symbols looked alien to the Vorthaks. "Sir, it just appeared from nowhere," the officer said. "Our sensors didn't detect anything until it was already here." Malthek felt worried. How could a ship appear without warning? Their sensors were the best in the galaxy. "Open a channel. Demand they surrender." The communication screen lit up. A strange face appeared. It had 2 eyes, 1 nose, and 1 mouth. The skin was pale pink. "This is Jin Ho of the Earth vessel New Soul," the creature said. "We are explorers from Earth. We mean no harm." Malthek laughed. "Earth?" He had never heard of such a place. "You are in Vorthak space," Malthek said. "By law, your ship belongs to us now. Surrender or be destroyed." The human called Jin Ho looked calm. "We cannot surrender. We have done nothing wrong." "Nothing wrong." Malthek was angry now. "You trespass in our space. Lower your weapons and prepare to be boarded." Jin Ho shook his head. "We will leave peacefully. We do not want trouble." Too late for that. Malthek cut the channel. Fire warning shots across their bow. 3 Vorthak ships moved close to the human vessel. They were 10 times bigger than the small Earth ship. Their weapons charged up. Then something strange happened. The human ship didn't try to run. It didn't beg for mercy. Instead, it turned. "To face the Vorthak ships, sir," the weapons officer said. "They're targeting us." Malthek couldn't believe it. "Impossible. Our ships are giants compared to theirs." "I'm detecting energy buildup in their weapons," the officer reported. "Sir, the energy levels, they're higher than our own." "That can't be right," Malthek said. "Check your instruments." Before the officer could respond, the human ship fired. A beam of bright blue light shot out. It hit the first Vorthak ship directly. The massive vessel with armor that could stop any known weapon simply melted. The metal turned to liquid. The ship collapsed on itself. Within seconds, the giant warship was gone. Everyone on Malthek's bridge was silent. They stared at their screens in shock. "Scan that debris," Malthek shouted. "How is this possible?" The sensor officer's hands shook as he worked. "Sir, the Fearless is gone, completely vaporized." "Impossible," Malthek whispered. "The Fearless had our strongest shields." The human ship turned again. 2 more blue beams shot out. 2 more Vorthak ships died instantly. Malthek had seen enough. "All ships retreat. Send a message to High Command, emergency code red." But the human ship wasn't chasing them. It just sat there in space, waiting. Jin Ho appeared on the screen again. "We told you we wanted to leave peacefully. Your ship's fired." "First, what are you?" Malthek asked. "We are humans from Earth," Jin Ho said. "We explore space to meet new friends. You chose to be enemies instead." "Your weapons," Malthek said. "How do they work?" "Our shields are the strongest in the galaxy." Jin Ho smiled. It was a strange expression. "Perhaps your galaxy is smaller than you think." The human ship began to glow. Around it, space itself seemed to bend and twist. "Sir," the sensor officer called out, "they're generating some kind of field. I've never seen anything like it." The human ship disappeared, not just invisible, gone, as if it had never been there. Malthek stared at the empty space. 3 of his best ships were dead. The tiny human vessel had destroyed them without breaking speed. Hours later, in the Great Council chamber of the Vorthak Empire, emergency sirens wailed. High Admiral Gorvek sat on his throne, listening to Malthek's report. You let a small ship destroy 3 of our vessels? Gorvex asked. Sir, it wasn't small in firepower, Malthek replied. Their weapons cut through our shields like they were paper. The ships just melted. Show me the recordings. The huge screen showed the battle. Everyone in the chamber watched in silence. They saw their mighty ships dissolve like ice in hot water. Run it again, Gorvex ordered. They watched 3 more times. Each time the result was the same. The tiny human ship killed their giants with single shots. Where did they come from? Gorvex asked. They call their world Earth, Malthek said. I've checked our star maps. There's no such planet in our records. Find it, Gorvex ordered. Find this Earth. I want to know everything about these humans. Yes, sir, but sir, what if they come back? Gorvex was quiet for a long moment. In 10,000 years, no one had destroyed Vorthak ships so easily. These humans had done it without effort. Double our patrols, he finally said. Alert all fleets. If you see another human ship, do not engage. Observe and report only. Sir, are we afraid of them? Gorvex looked at the screen again. The human ship had been so small, so simple looking, yet it had powers they couldn't understand. Yes, he said. I think we are. Meanwhile, far away, the new soul flew through strange space. Jinho stood on his bridge, looking tired. Captain, his weapons, Officer Taman said. We had to defend ourselves. I know, Jinho replied. But I wonder if we've started something we'll regret. Sir, shall I inform Earth of the contact? Jinho nodded. Yes. Tell them we've met the Vorthak Empire. Tell them. He paused. Tell them they're not as strong as they think they are. On Earth, people had no idea their small exploration ship had just shocked an entire galactic empire. They had no idea that across the galaxy, aliens were asking one question. What else could these humans do? That question would haunt the Vorthak Empire in the days to come. Because the truth about humans was far stranger than anyone could imagine. High Admiral Gorvex called an emergency meeting. In the Great Hall, hundreds of Vorthak officers gathered. Maps of the galaxy filled the walls. Find me everything about these humans, Gorvex ordered. I want to know where they come from. I want to know what they want. Most of all, I want to know how their weapons work. Science Officer Kilneth stepped forward. He was smaller than most Vorthaks, but very smart. Sir, I've studied the battle recordings. Their weapons don't work like ours. Explain, Gorvex said. Our weapons shoot plasma or energy bolts, Kilneth said. Their weapons, they change the matter itself. They turn our metal into something else. The room was quiet. No one knew weapons that could do that. That should be impossible, another officer said. Yet, it happened, Kilneth replied. There's more. Their ship disappeared completely. Not cloaked, gone. As if it moved to another place instantly. Gorvex felt a cold fear. Could they be more advanced than us? I don't think so, sir, Kilneth said. Their ship looked primitive, old designs, but their technology works in ways we don't understand. Meanwhile, on Earth, things were very busy. Admiral Wu Jin stood in the war room. Screens showed the galaxy around them. Jinho's report is troubling, he said to his staff. These Vorthaks control a huge empire. They tried to capture our ship. Dr. Mireille, the chief scientist, looked worried. Admiral, our ship destroyed 3 of theirs easily. Maybe they'll leave us alone now. I doubt it, Wu Jin replied. Empires don't like being embarrassed. They'll want revenge. Engineer Baum entered the room. He was Jinho's chief engineer and had returned with recent news. Admiral, there's something you should... No, the Vorthaks tried to scan our ship. They couldn't understand our technology. What do you mean? Wu Jin asked. They use old fusion power, Baum explained. We use quantum cores. They see our ship and think it's primitive because they don't know what they're looking at. Dr. Mireille was excited. That gives us an advantage. They underestimate us. For now, Wu Jin said, but they're investigating. Baum, I need you to upgrade our fleet. If they come, we need to be ready. Baum smiled. Already working on it, sir. The second-generation quantum drives are almost ready. Back in Vorthak space, Commander Malthek was on a special mission. His ship flew through the outer regions looking for clues about the humans. "Sir," his navigator called, "we're approaching the coordinates where the human ship first appeared." "Full scans," Malthek ordered. "Look for anything strange." They searched for hours. Then the sensors found something interesting. "Sir, there's a residual energy field here," the navigator reported. "It's very faint, but it shows space was bent." Bent? Malthek didn't understand. Science Officer Kylneth, who was with them, got excited. "Sir, I think they traveled through folded space, like making a shortcut through reality itself." Malthek felt sick. Space folding was just a theory. No one had ever done it. "Keep searching," he ordered. 2 days later, they found something else. A small piece of metal floating in space. It was from a Vorthak ship but looked strange. Kylneth studied it carefully. "Sir, this is our hull metal, but it's been changed at the atomic level. The human weapons didn't just destroy our ships. They changed what they were made of." Malthek was scared now. What kind of race could change matter itself? Then something happened that made everything worse. "Sir," the navigator shouted. "3 ships just appeared. They're human vessels." On the main screen, 3 human ships sat in space. They were bigger than the New Sol, but still smaller than Vorthak warships. "Red. Alert!" Malthek called. "Raise shields, but do not fire. Those are our orders." A face appeared on the screen. It was a human woman with short black hair. "I am Captain Ara of the Sol Fleet," she said. "We know you're holding our people prisoner." Malthek was confused. "What prisoners? We took no prisoners." "After the battle," Ara said calmly, "your ships collected our escape pods. We want them back." "We found no escape pods," Malthek lied. He knew they had taken 3 pods with human survivors. Ara's eyes went cold. "We know you have them. Our ships can track our people anywhere." "Impossible," Malthek said. "Our jamming blocks all signals." "Your jamming blocks what you understand," Ara replied. "Return our people or we will take them." Malthek looked at his officers. They had the 3 humans locked up in their prison ship. But how could the humans track them? "I need to speak to my superiors," Malthek said. "You have 1 hour," Ara said. Then the screen went dark. Malthek called High Admiral Gorvex immediately. "They know exactly where our prison ship is," Malthek reported. "How is that possible?" "Don't know," Gorvex admitted. "What are your orders?" "Keep watching them. If they attack, run. Do not fight. We need to learn more about their capabilities." The hour passed quickly. The human ships moved closer to the prison ship. "Sir," the sensor officer called. "The human ships are doing something strange." On the screen, the 3 human ships began to glow. Around them, space itself seemed to ripple. "What are they doing?" Malthek asked. Then something impossible happened. The prison ship, a massive vessel with the strongest shields in the fleet, simply passed through the human ships as if they weren't there. But the humans were still there. They had turned themselves into ghosts. "Sir!" the sensor officer screamed. "The prison ship is reporting massive system failures. The human ships are inside their ship." "That's impossible," Malthek said. "Nothing can pass through our shields." On the prison ship, chaos ruled. Human soldiers appeared in locked rooms. They weren't wearing pressure suits but somehow breathed normally. They moved through walls like they were made of air. The 3 captured humans were found and rescued in minutes. Then the human soldiers vanished, taking their people with them. The 3 human ships reappeared in space. They looked normal again. Captain Ara's face returned to the screen. "Thank you for returning our people," she said politely. "How?" Malthek asked weakly. "How did you pass through our shields?" Ara smiled. "Have you ever heard of quantum tunneling? Your shields stop what they know about. They don't know about things that exist in multiple states at once." Before Malthek could ask more questions, the human ships disappeared. Not like before. This time they faded away slowly, becoming see-through until they were gone. Later, in the emergency council meeting, Gorvex listened to all the reports. They can track our ships, he said slowly. They can pass through our shields. They can disappear and reappear anywhere. Sir, Kylnith said carefully, I've been thinking. What if these humans aren't just advanced? What if they use science that's completely different from ours? Different how? Gorvex asked. We build bigger ships, stronger weapons, thicker armor, Kylnith explained. They might be building smarter instead of stronger, using the rules of reality in ways we never thought of. Gorvex sat in silence. The Vorthak Empire had been the strongest for 10,000 years. They had beaten everyone with bigger, better weapons. Now they faced an enemy who played by different rules. Double our research, he finally ordered. I want teams studying everything we know about quantum physics. Find out how they do these impossible things. As the meeting ended, one thought haunted every Vorthak in the room. If humans could do all this with just a few small ships, what could they do with a real fleet? And somewhere in space, Jinho's ship received a message from Earth. The second wave of human ships was ready. Bigger ships with newer technology. The Vorthaks had no idea what was coming for them. Emperor Zefthal was very old. For 2,000 years he had ruled the Vorthak Empire. His palace was bigger than most cities. Every wall was covered with trophies from conquered worlds. He sat on his golden throne, reading the reports about humans. His 4 eyes glowed with anger and fear. 3 ships destroyed by one tiny vessel, he muttered. Shields that don't work. Technology we cannot understand. High Admiral Gorvex stood before him. My Emperor, we've learned more. The humans don't seem to know how powerful they are. What do you mean? Zefthal asked. They're surprised their weapons work so well, Gorvex explained. They act like they're the weaker ones. This made Zefthal even more worried. Enemies who didn't know their own strength were dangerous. Meanwhile, on Earth, Ambassador Hyajin was very busy. She had just returned from questioning the rescued prisoners. These were the first Vorthaks that humans had captured. In the interrogation room, 3 Vorthak officers sat in chains. They looked scared. Tell me about your empire, Hyajin said gently. She was small and had kind eyes, but the aliens seemed afraid of her. We rule 1,000 star systems, one Vorthak said. For 10,000 years we have been the strongest. How did you become so strong? Hyajin asked. The Vorthak looked at his friends nervously. We found the ruins of older civilizations. We took their technology. Hyajin felt excited, but kept her voice calm. What civilizations? Many races came before us, another Vorthak said. The Zarathi, the Molan, the Althari. When he said the last name, all 3 Vorthaks shivered. Tell me about the Althari, Hyajin requested. They were the first advanced race, the first Vorthak explained. They had technology we still don't understand fully. They could change matter itself. Move through space instantly. They built machines that thought. Hyajin's heart beat faster. What happened to them? The Vorthaks looked ashamed. Our ancestors. We destroyed them. 50,000 years ago. We took their worlds and stole their technology. But you said you don't understand their technology, Hyajin pointed out. We can copy it, the Vorthak admitted. But we never learned how it really works. Our weapons are copies of Althari designs, but they're weaker copies. After the interview, Hyajin ran to find Dr. Mireille. She found her in the research lab studying Vorthak technology. Doctor, I need you to look at something, Hyajin said. She showed her the recording of the Althari discussion. Dr. Mireille watched carefully. When it finished, her face was pale. Hyajin, she said slowly. I need to show you something too. She led Hyajin to a secret lab. Inside were machines that looked ancient but somehow familiar. We've been wondering why our technology works so well against the Vorthaks, Dr. Mireille said. Look at this. She showed Hyajin a hologram of human DNA. Next to it was another DNA pattern. We found this pattern in some very old rocks on Earth, Dr. Mireille explained. We thought it was from an extinct animal. But look, the 2 DNA patterns were very similar. What are you saying? Hyajin asked, though she already suspected. I think humans aren't originally from Earth. Dr. Mirai said. I think we're descendants of the Althari. The ones who survived came to Earth and evolved into humans. Hyejin sat down heavily. That means, when we build technology, we're remembering, Dr. Mirai finished. Our DNA remembers how Althari science works. That's why our quantum drives feel natural to build. That's why our weapons work the way they do. They looked at each other in silence. The Vorthax destroyed our ancestors, Hyejin finally said, and now we've grown strong enough to face them. In Vorthax space, strange things were happening. Commander Malthek was patrolling when his sensors detected something impossible. Sir, his navigator said, there's a fleet approaching. A human fleet. Malthek looked at the screen. 12 human ships moved through space. They were beautiful, silver and blue with smooth curves. How many crew members? Malthek asked. Sir, I'm detecting maybe 50 humans total. 50? Malthek couldn't believe it. 50 humans crew 12 ships? Our ships need thousands of crew members for 12 vessels, the navigator said. The human fleet stopped near a Vorthak colony. Then something amazing happened. The human ships began building things in space. Sir, they're constructing something, the sensor officer reported. But I don't see any materials. They're building from space dust. Malthek watched as the humans created a space station from nothing. Their machines turned empty space into metal and energy. Send a message to the Emperor, Malthek ordered. Tell him the humans are using Althari technology. When Emperor Zefthal heard this, he became very afraid. He remembered the old stories about the Althari. His ancestors had told him they were like gods. Summon the High Council, he ordered. In the Great Council chamber, every important Vorthak gathered. Zefthal stood and spoke. My ancestors destroyed the Althari, he announced. We thought they were gone forever. The council members murmured nervously. But now, Zefthal continued, I believe the humans are Althari children. They have returned for revenge. My emperor, one council member said, what should we do? Zefthal was quiet for a long time. Then he spoke with a trembling voice. Prepare all our fleets. Call back every ship from every corner of the empire. The children of the Althari have returned and they are stronger than we ever imagined. On Earth, the leaders met in emergency session. Prime Minister Yoon Seo looked tired. The truth about human origins had shaken everyone. So we're not from Earth originally, she said. Evidence suggests our ancestors were Althari refugees, Dr. Mirai confirmed. They came here after the Vorthax destroyed their civilization. General Kyuri spoke up. This changes our strategy. The Vorthax destroyed our people once. They won't hesitate to do it again. But we're not the same Althari they defeated, Admiral Wu Jin said. We've grown, we've changed, we've become something new. Captain Sun Ho, who led the liberation forces, nodded. Our ancestors were peaceful. We've learned to fight. Prime Minister Yoon Seo made a decision that would change the galaxy. The Vorthax chose to be our enemies, she said. They attacked our ship first, and now we know they're our ancestors' killers. She looked at each person in the room. We won't conquer them, she declared, but we will free every race they've enslaved. We will show the galaxy that the age of tyranny is over. In space, more human ships appeared every day. Each one used technology that seemed impossible. They freed slaves, helped oppressed worlds, and spread a message. The children of the Althari had returned, and this time they were ready to fight. Emperor Zefthal looked at his screens showing human ships throughout his empire. He whispered ancient words his ancestors had taught him. The Althari always return, they always remember, and they always get justice. For the first time in 10,000 years, the Vorthak Empire was truly afraid. The final battle was coming. The Vorthak capital was called Thraxmore. It was a massive planet covered in black metal cities. Billions of Vorthaks lived there. Giant space docks held thousands of warships. Emperor Zefthal stood in his command center, watching the screens. The human fleet was coming. Every sensor showed the same thing, 1,000 human ships moving through space. My Emperor, High Admiral Gorvek said. Our entire fleet is ready. 10,000 ships guard the capital. Zefthal nodded but felt afraid. His ships were huge, the humans were small, but size didn't matter anymore. They're coming to finish what we started 50,000 years ago, he whispered. In space above Thraxmore, reality began to bend. The human fleet appeared in a flash of blue light. Their ships were beautiful, silver with flowing curves that seemed alive. Admiral Jin-Ho stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Eternal Soul. It had grown since their first meeting with the Vorthax. Now it was a mile long, covered in strange symbols that glowed softly. Captain Ara reporting, sir, came a voice. Liberation forces are in position. Good, Jin-Ho replied. Remember, we're here to free slaves, not to destroy. If they surrender, we accept. Captain Sun-Ho's voice crackled over the comm. Sir, the freed colonies are sending support. Ships from 100 different races are joining us. Jin-Ho smiled. The enslaved peoples of the galaxy had risen up. When humans freed their worlds, they had chosen to fight for freedom. Emperor Zefthal sent a message to the human fleet. His face appeared on screens throughout the human ships. I am Zefthal, ruler of the Vorthak Empire, he said. You are children of the Althari. I know why you've come. Jin-Ho's face appeared in return. We've come for justice. Free every slave in your empire. Let every planet choose its own path. You ask me to destroy my empire, Zefthal replied. Your empire destroyed our ancestors, Jin-Ho said calmly. It destroyed countless races. That ends today. Zefthal's eyes burned with ancient rage. Then face me, Althari child. I challenge you to single combat. Winner takes all. The old Vorthak ways said that leaders could fight each other to settle wars. Jin-Ho was quiet for a moment. I accept, he finally said. But we fight with minds, not weapons. Let the galaxy see who truly deserves to rule. Both fleets formed a circle in space. In the center, 2 platforms appeared. One carried Zefthal, the other carried Jin-Ho. The platforms touched and formed a ring of light. Inside this ring, both leaders would test their knowledge and wisdom. Look around you, Jin-Ho said. Your empire spans the galaxy, but what have you built? What have you created? I built order, Zefthal shouted. I brought peace through strength. You brought fear, Jin-Ho replied. You stole technology you don't understand. You enslaved races that could have been friends. Around them, images appeared in the light. They showed Vorthak history, the destroyed worlds, the captured peoples, the stolen knowledge. This is strength, Zefthal insisted. The strong rule the weak. That is the way. Then why do you fear us? Jin-Ho asked. We're smaller than you. Our ships are outnumbered, yet you're afraid. Zefthal had no answer. Jin-Ho continued. True strength isn't in ruling others. It's in helping them become strong too. Watch. The light showed human worlds, but instead of slaves, there were partners. Different races worked together. They shared knowledge freely. Your ancestors knew this, Jin-Ho said. The Althari didn't rule an empire. They were teachers, healers, builders. And where are they now? Zefthal asked. Dead, destroyed by those who chose strength. They're not dead, Jin-Ho said simply. They evolved. We are what they became after learning from their mistakes. The light grew brighter. It began to show the future. Worlds free to grow, races helping each other, technology shared without fear. This is what we offer, Jin-Ho said. Not conquest, not revenge, freedom. Zefthal saw the vision and felt something break inside him. For 2,000 years he had ruled with fear. Now he saw what he could have built instead. I can't, he whispered. I don't know how to rule without fear. Then don't rule, Jin-Ho said kindly. Help us build something better. The old emperor looked at the human captain. This small being offered forgiveness for 50,000 years of pain. My people won't understand, Zefthal said. Some will, Jin-Ho replied. Others will help learn. Change takes time. The platforms separated. Both leaders returned to their ships. "I surrender the throne," Zefthal announced. "The Vorthak Empire is ended. We choose to learn from the children of the Althari." Across the galaxy, word spread quickly. The mighty empire that had ruled for 10,000 years was gone. In its place, a new alliance formed. Human ships didn't conquer worlds. They healed them. They taught former slaves to use their own technology. They helped divided races learn to work together. Captain Sun Ho led teams that freed the last slave worlds. Engineering teams helped rebuild destroyed planets. Science teams shared knowledge with every race that wanted it. Dr. Mirai made an amazing discovery. Every intelligent race in the galaxy had some Althari DNA. The ancient race hadn't just fled. They had scattered their children across the stars. "We're all family," she told the Galactic Council. "Humans, Vorthaks, everyone. We all came from the same source." This knowledge changed everything. Old enemies became friends. Former rulers learned to lead without violence. Emperor Zefthal became Ambassador Zefthal. He spent his remaining years helping former Vorthak worlds adjust to freedom. "The humans could have destroyed us," he often said. "Instead, they saved us from ourselves." Jinho established the Galactic Academy on the human world of New Terra. It became a place where every race could learn and teach. The Althari tried to share knowledge freely, he said at the opening ceremony. "We will continue that dream." Years passed. The galaxy grew peaceful. Trade replaced conquest. Art flourished where once there was only war. But humans didn't rest. They knew that somewhere beyond the known galaxy, there might be others who needed help. Other empires who ruled through fear. New ships were built, better than before, but still focused on healing rather than harming. Admiral Ara, now leading exploration fleets, spoke to her crews before each journey. "We are the children of the Althari. We carry their memory and their purpose. We explore, not to conquer but to connect. We fight not for power but for freedom." The galaxy had learned an important lesson. True strength didn't come from the size of your weapons or the fear in your enemies' hearts. True strength came from the courage to choose kindness over conquest, unity over division, hope over fear. And in the depths of space, ancient Althari, ruins on forgotten worlds began to glow, as if the ancestors themselves were finally at peace, knowing their children had learned to be strong in all the right ways. The age of empires was over. The age of cooperation had begun, and humanity, once lost children of a destroyed race, had become the gentle guardians they were always meant to be. The end.